Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Please write me at walkwithtak@gmail.com. I can answer your question more fully through email, and I will respond promptly. My friend Tina has struggled to find a good knife for her to use in the kitchen, and her experience very much parallels mine. She told me that she has a drawer full of dull knives, and she was very frustrated every time when she wants to cut something. None of her knives seems to be able to work the way she would like them to. Over the years, she has tried to sharpen them, and she has purchased different kind of sharpeners, but most of the time, after she sharpened them, they would get dull very quickly again. And all she really wants to do is to have a knife that can stay reasonably sharp for a long time, maybe for several months. So she was very excited when her nephew, who works as a chef, recommended a knife to her. It's a very expensive knife and it cost her $250. When the first time she used the knife, she was delighted by how sharp the knife is. However, after she used it for about 2 months, the knife started to get dull. And then she tried to sharpen it, almost impossible for her to do so. She ended up adding this expensive knife to her drawer of dull knives. Tina told me that she did not need to have a very sharp knife. She only needed a knife that's reasonably sharp enough that would allow her to do the cutting and chopping in the kitchen. However, she would like to have a knife that she does not have to worry about sharpening it all the time. In other words, she would like to have a knife that stays sharp all the time. Is such a knife exist? And the answer is that yes, such a knife does exist. This kind of knife is known as ceramic knives. If you have never used a ceramic knife before, you will be surprised at how good it is and how long it can stay sharp. But for those people who are unfamiliar with ceramic knives, it does not look like a real knife. In fact, some people think it is a plastic knife. In fact, this is exactly the impression that I have of a ceramic knife. I think they are not very sturdy. But after I use them, I realized that this is precisely the kind of knife that I want. If I'm willing to make some compromises in terms of their strength, I will find a ceramic knife to be the most suitable knife to be used in the kitchen for cutting and chopping meat and vegetables. Over the past 15 years, I have used a ceramic knife for all my prepping, and I use it every single day. I can count on it being sharp every time I take it out of the drawer, and this is a great assurance for me each time when I do my prepping. I have one ceramic knife that I have used it for over 4 years. Of course, it's not as sharp as when I first purchased it, but it's still sharp enough for me to do most of the cutting. However, I have replaced it with a new ceramic knife. A ceramic knife actually is not made out of ceramic as based on its name. Instead, ceramic knife is made out of a chemical compound known as zirconium oxide. Zirconium oxide is a material of high level of hardness. The harder it is, the less likely that it will get dull. When they compare to diamond, if you set diamond as a hardness of 100, then zirconium oxide has a hardness around 80. And you compare it to stainless steel, then it has a hardness around 65. So zirconium oxide is much harder than steel, and this also makes it more resistant to getting dull. Despite its hardness, zirconium oxide, when compared to steel, it lacks the tensile strength of steel. Consequently, a knife made from zirconium oxide is hard and stays sharper than a steel knife. But it is brittle because when you drop it, it will shatter. And the reason a zirconium oxide knife is referred to as ceramic knife because it used the same process in create the knife. In fact, a zirconium knife is very similar to a ceramic pottery. Most pottery are made out from silica, whereas a ceramic knife made out from zirconium oxide make it much harder. And because of the hardness of zirconium oxide, a ceramic knife can stay sharper much longer than a steel knife. In fact, I have used one zirconium oxide ceramic knife for over 2 years. It is still highly useful for cutting meats and vegetables. If it has been a steel knife, it's probably totally unusable by now. After I learned of Tina's problem with her steel knife, I recommend a ceramic knife to her, and she was very happy, and she has been using her ceramic knife for over 6 months, and she told me that it was just as sharp as when she first got it. And the ceramic knife that I use has a wide blade. It is frequently referred to as a vegetable knife because of its configuration, but it works equally well in cutting meat such as chicken, beef, pork, as well as fish. A ceramic knife is available over a wide price range, but I find the cheapest one is not that much different from the expensive one. When I compare them, they seem to work pretty much the same. The only thing that I expect the difference might be perhaps the expensive one will last longer. In summary, a ceramic knife might not be as sharp as the best steel knife, but they can stay sharper much longer. In fact, I have yet to sharpen any of my ceramic knives. They are sharp enough for most of the kitchen tasks, and I always feel confident when I get the ceramic knife out of my drawer. I know it will be sharp enough for me to do the prepping that I want. However, I need to be more careful in handling my ceramic knife because they are more brittle. I do not want to drop them on the floor because they might shatter. And I also would not use a ceramic knife to pry open a can. Other than that, the ceramic knife in my mind is far more functional than steel knife because they can stay sharp for a long period of time, so you don't have to worry about sharpening them. They are always ready when you take them out of the drawer. So give it a try. I post a video each day to help you to make your home cooking practical, efficient, creative, and fun using my fast cooking system. If you'd like to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.